Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
This isn't shock value. Once you get past that shock, we have to start asking ourselves, why aren't we seeing more news about what's happening over there? What's happening over there? What's happening over there? What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here, and I'm just coming back from Mom's house. Grandma got to see the grandbabies, and they told me, you know what? They said, Drill Sergeant, you're cussing too much. Your language, it's out of hand. I never raised you that way, and I don't even know what to click on anymore because it's appalling, your language. But that was the gist. And I said, you know what? Sometimes the goal is to shock, to be abrasive. And then sometimes it's just to report the news. And you saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you know what this is. But it's more important, not just the story, but when you hear a story like this, that you do what I do. When I hear something like this, I do everything I can to research and go beyond. And something like this is so shocking, I don't need to curse. This doesn't shock the senses. You're unshockable. There's nothing left. So for those of you who still can be shocked, and those of you who still see something worth saving here, let's start the story here. Well, I saw my good friend, Bree Woodson, running for Congress in the 12th District of Georgia. I think everybody needs to push her name out there. She's a good one, awesome one. You see it. Yeah, you see it. And I said to myself, you know what? That's wild. I know that she's not just someone who's going to throw anything out there. But I need to see that for myself. And that should always be your first response when hearing something this horrible. But then maybe there's nuance. There's more that I don't know. And there is. So, of course, the first thing I did was figure out exactly what is this publication. What is this publication? Now, I'm going to let you see here, but I realize that it's in a different language. It's been translated. I don't see any other site saying this. This is the only one? Well, of course, I look inside and say, well, where are they hearing this from? And I get another one. And in this one, it kind of gives you a better idea of what we're looking at. I'm showing you where we got this from, how it started, and the process by which I decided to share. Let's read here. The American E-6B Mercury is now positioned over the Persian Gulf. The E-6B Mercury is not a fighter jet. It carries no weapons. It exists for one single purpose, to ensure that if all else fails, if ground command centers are destroyed, if satellites are blinded, if the president and the entire chain of command vanish, the order to launch the U.S. nuclear arsenal can still be transmitted to submarines hidden in the ocean. Its call sign doesn't matter. That says something. You see, even more shocking, well, at least as shocking, is how effed are we? How bad is it going? Why can't I hear any more news? Only 8 dead? I say only, not in a frivolous mention of numbers. But with the amount of bases being torn to bits and the amount of casualties on the other side, I think I should be hearing more news. And I'm wondering, how bad is it? It's not that this plane has anything to do with the N-word. That's bad enough. But it's how this plane is used, and that when everything else is gone, you still have something there. Why are you sending this on day 7 of a limited operation? Anyway, Now that we know what it does and how it's used, and what that means for what's really going on over there, for our troops, for the fight that we're winning, in 7 days, they're sending this. Now that we know that part of it, I still say, you know what? I don't even know some of these people. I don't know these sites. I need more. And you can start to see me looking into just names and getting a background. But there's something else that I'm privy to that others aren't. I'm wearing this patch today for a very special reason. It doesn't fit the hat. It looks silly. But this is the patch I got, along with this one, right here, for the work you guys did when I was doing Car for Ukraine. Car for Ukraine held a campaign to get trucks to the people fighting in the war out there. And I was happy to do it, and I was proud. But it just turns out that the publication, Militarnia, it's in Ukraine. So while I'm Googling and finding names, I do one very special thing before I decide to post it here. I send a message to the people in Ukraine who are there on the ground, who work with the military, who have received your money and mine, and have given trucks to be donated, to be turned into war machines for the war effort. If anybody would know what is Militarny and can they be trusted, it would be them. And I got back the response, I have found them to be credible. You're not hearing it second, third hand here. I wouldn't be putting something like this on there for the shock value. I'm not cussing on purpose. And it's not because Mom and Auntie asked me not to. It's because some things are shocking enough. And my job is to deliver it in a way that's manageable, honest, and real. Besides all the background, and now we know what it does, there are other questions to be had. Questions like, well, when did it leave? I found that out. It seems as if this has been reported fully and honestly by more than just one source. But the people where the source is coming from told me that they find that source to be credible as well. And that's the best I can give you. This isn't shock value. Once you get past that shock, we have to start asking ourselves, why aren't we seeing more news about what's happening over there? What's happening over there? What's happening over there? How bad is this? Is a question I'd like anyone out there with a soapbox to stand on to ask. I'll be asking as well. This is only day 7. What's happening out there? What have we lost? How do you plan on getting out of this? And what does winning look like when we don't even know why we're there? And the last question is, when are we going to impeach this guy? I think now's a good time. I think now's a good time. Hakeem, Jeffries, I think now's a good time to sign on to the letters, to the articles of impeachment from Al Green and the others that have been out there. I think now's the time, Congress people. Because obviously you're not asking what's going on over there. How bad is it over there? You're not asking those questions. Because I can't believe that you would have asked these questions and know what's happening that would call for this on the 7th day and have not already got him out of there. Every day past today, every person, congressperson, who hasn't signed on to that, asked for it vigorously, or wrote their own. You are a threat. And I'll do everything in my power And the power of all of the few little networks I have, I'm a nobody. But there are thousands of nobodies out here to get you out. I don't care what party you belong to. Impeach them now, before it's too late.
Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on www.groovechillradio.com/political-drain and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.